And so that was one of the times that I feel like I made a mistake and I struggled to continue my relationship with God because of my past mistakes, because I couldn't get over it. That was just one.
How long did you go through struggle in that mindset or dealing with that after you had the abortion till, like, how long did that affect you, do you feel?
Oh, I don't know. I was 18, right, when that happened. And then I would say probably still until like my late 20s. It was a while.
So like almost 10 years.
Almost, yeah. Yeah, I would say like 28-ish. Yeah. And then get this. So I have the abortion at 18. Then at 19, I get pregnant again.
This is when you met
with
Manny.
Carter. Yeah. And it wasn't even like,
Or no names, but
well,
you're saying
everybody
it.
knows my baby daddy. It's okay. Everybody knows. But yeah, I got pregnant again.
So what was your thought at that point?
Oh man. Well,
because you weren't much further from where you
I
were
wasn't.
at the first time.
I think it had not even been a year had passed.
Really? So
Like
after
maybe a year, but it was like maybe 10 months. Something
so
like
that first relationship was pretty short.
Mm-hmm.
It was
a year and a half.
So after that was done, you had met Manny,
Mm-hmm.
and then got pregnant.
Yeah.
Like probably right off the bat.
Like maybe 6 months. I don't even know. I'd have to really think about it, but like 6 months later, maybe, or something. And I'm like, man, I can't have an abortion again. Are you kidding me? I was like, I promised God when I prayed and asked for forgiveness, I would never do this again.
Yeah.
And so I kept my promise, but it was different this time.
Circumstances were different.
Yeah,
because...
it was different because Carter's dad is total different man, right? He was older, 5 years older. We weren't the same age. The first one, we were the same age. So this one's 5 years older. You know, he had his stuff together. He had an apartment. He had some savings in the bank. He had a car. He had a job. I was like, okay, this is a step up. Good job, Jelly. Like, okay. And his family was great.
Treated you well.
Loved his family. Well. Came from a great family background. He believed in God, even though he wasn't serving or in church. After my past relationship, I made it a point to any guy I date going forward. One of the first things I was going to be like, ask was, are you a believer? Do you believe in Jesus? Do you go to church?
At least your faiths were.
At least our faiths, we believed in the same things, but he grew up in a different church than I did. And there's different churches out there, right? And so, and he grew up in one in California. And so the way he grew up in that church was different from what I grew up with. So even though we both believe in God and we both believe in prayer and we both had like the same Bible and all that, it was still different. Yeah. Because he came from a church that believed things I've never heard of in church before. Like that Adam and Eve, that their sin was that they had sex. That was their sin, even though God told them to procreate, right? Okay. So that was their sin. The devil does not exist. The devil is your own carnal mind. I couldn't wrap my brain around that one. So there was a few other things that, he grew up with that I didn't agree with. Yeah. And so that I think was one of our main issues was that being unequally yoked. But I think deep down, like I felt so guilty about having my abortion that I wasn't being careful. And I subconsciously feel like I wanted to get pregnant on purpose because I felt so bad and I wanted to make it right. Subconsciously. That's not something that I actually thought of. But later, like after, I was like, because I didn't stop. I wasn't using protection. Like in my mind, I was like, oh, I won't get pregnant because, pull-out method does not work, y'all. Just saying. But so it was just different. And I'm glad, like, I have like I said, I have no regrets because I love Carter. Carter's one of the best things that ever happened to me. Like, I was really blessed with him, and I feel like God knew I needed him. And like his heart and the type of kid that he is and how loving and affectionate he is, because I didn't grow up with that. And so God gave it to me in a son. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna start crying. Stop looking at me. But yeah. So even though I don't always know how to receive that love because I was never used to it, but I'm like so much better at it now.
Yeah.
I did struggle when he was younger. Like he would, want to come and cuddle and give me love, and I would push him away or be too busy, but that had nothing to do with him and everything to do with me. And so I've had conversations with him about that before, but I don't know how he feels like today. We'll have to have him on the show, on the podcast. But yeah, that was something I did not go through again because I decided to